so good. You know that the morning starts best when you have coffee. It's just wonderful. Hey everyone, welcome back to Within Pages. I'm currently working, so I got my headset on in my office space and got my coffee. I have started Heartstoppers along with Five Nights at Freddy's, Silver Eyes, as well as City of Ashes. So normally I would have had a lot more read, a lot more done, but these last couple of days at work have been a little hectic, a lot of meetings, a lot of things to do, but you know how it is. Work is work. Let's just leave it at that. I do have a little bit of downtime today, so I'll probably be doing some light reading, nothing way too heavy, and if I can, like around this time, react and just like make notes or comments here or there. I am going to get into more of the light reading that I mentioned in my newbie booktube tag. I am the kind of person that takes a lot of notes to the point where I can, in my opinion, again, everybody's different, can break down the chapters so that it's a bit more easier to digest. This is what happened. These are the main points to take away next chapter, because sometimes some chapters be a little too thick, not always consistent, and a lot of information to process through. So hopefully that all works out well and I can get that done. So yeah, getting ink off your hands when your pen explodes is just dreadful. Mine used to blow up all the time and make an entire mess in my book bag. My books would turn blue. I've turned blue. Cannot tell you the amount of shirts I stain. And my bad. The other main character's name is Nicholas. I got Ben stuck in my head because that was the first name I saw. But Ben is the one that Charlie's currently macking with. And he's not very kind, very manipulative, very rude. Just send him a text saying that he's effing useless because he's not responding to the text to go hook up in the library. So, not the vibe. Charlie, drop him. Okay, so Charlie just dropped them. Thank goodness. Not the vibe we're going for. You can do so much better. Nicholas is really adorable, so just drop Ben. You don't need him. Plus, he's with the girl. So obviously, either he's, you know, either he's bisexual or otherwise, or he's just in the closet and using it as a friend, or we the judge, but when somebody says no, it's a no. So I'll be back once I'm at around page 50 and kind of give my general thoughts and impressions. Probably a little later, depending on how much information we get. Some of the panels are just like the pictures giving us the full story, like through the eyes of the character. But if a lot of information comes through, I'll like definitely come back and talk all about it. So, okay, so I'm dying. This is so cute. Okay, so far, let's see, where did I last leave off at? Okay, so Ben approached Charlie and he's just like, why aren't you texting me? And, you know, why you keep on ignoring me and this and that and that. And Charlie's just pretty much staying on his stance and telling him, no, I'm done. I'm not going to meet up with you anymore. He gets kind of pissy, grabs him by the collar, and that's when Nicholas shows up, and he's just like, is everything okay here? Ben goes off and leaves with his attitude, and you know, Nicholas is asking Charlie, like, are you friends with them? Charlie adamantly says no, I just help him with his math homework, aka they're smooching. And Nicholas pretty much asks Charlie if he would like to join the rugby team. He kind of asks why, and Nicholas is just like, I've seen you in PE and you ran super quickly. One moment. Nicholas is having like a chat with his teammates because they're short a person, and they just start going back and forth like, do we really want him? Does he even know how to play? I know he's popular, but he's kind of skinny. Can he even play because he physically doesn't look the part? Then somebody throws in, well, you know, he is gay after all, because, you know, everybody's fear in the locker room is that they're going to be objectified, despite them doing the same thing to women. I've never quite understood that double stereotype where straight men, and this is just like everybody in general, you know, whether or not it's a woman checking out a guy or a guy checking out a girl, but when somebody of the same gender does it, they completely flip out and they're just like, oh my god, how dare you, but you're doing the same exact thing. My thing is, keep the same energy. If you're gonna do it, know that somebody else is probably looking at you the same exact way. But anyways, they pretty much get to the rugby practice and they're kind of going over through the rules. And I'm on Charlie with this one, like, Nicholas knows his stuff, but he just gives so much information, and it's like an entire panel where he's just like talking about the rules and stuff, and Charlie's just like, I don't quite understand it. Everything is looking good in terms of playing rugby, so good for you, Charlie, trying something new. On top of that, he plays drums. Extracurricular activities are very good. So I'm glad they talk about it. One of the classmates brings up the point that he's gay, and Nicholas is like, that doesn't inherently make you bad at sports. It's just another part of a person, you know? It's not like something that is creepy. It's not, you know, it's not something to be fearful of. People are different, you know? We're built differently, we have different experiences. So I'm kind of glad that the teammates seem very receptive to this and understand that, you know what, he's a good person, he's good at the sport, everything is good, and so what if he's gay? It doesn't define who he is as a person. That's just another part of him. So I like it. It's like a nice healthy moment between teammates. Oh, okay, so things are happening. So Charlie received another text from Ben letting him know to meet him in the music room. And I think Nicholas is kind of spying. He's snooping, doing a little reconnaissance, following him into the battlefield. I don't like Ben. He's just really creepy and mean. Like, I completely understand not being ready to come out, but to use somebody who is out as your way of dipping your toes in, and then having a relationship on the side and treating them like crap at the same time? Yeah, do a little bit of soul searching. Look deep inside, see what the issues are. And if you're ready to come out, then by all means go ahead. But if you're not, don't use other people to satisfy their curiosity. Like, that's a no-no. It got spicy, and not in the sexy kind of way. I mean spicy as in the drama. The tea is hot, it's piping hot, it's just like sizzling on the tongue hot. Not this. Chai latte got cold by now, tasting a little like Fruity Pebbles. Kind of weird. So Charlie is sticking up for himself. He's popping off against Ben, telling him, you know, I'm not scared if people know that we're making out with one another because I'm already out. Everybody knows that I am who I am. Alright, so I'm back. Work called. But as I was mentioning before, the only one who has a problem of getting caught, because Ben is like, oh, you're just afraid that we're gonna get caught, and you know, you still want me, you know, that whole nonsense. And Charlie's like, no, you're the one who's afraid. You're the one who's not ready to come out yet, and every single time you feel the need, the itch, the urge to go and make out with me, who's a guy, that's when you call. It's not like you actually care about me. And he's just like popping off, telling him the truth, he's singing him the song. At that moment, Mr. Ben, trashy Ben, we don't like him, he like shoves him up against the wall and attempts to make out with him, and luckily enough, you know, whether or not Charlie would have had the strength to push him back or not, in comes Nick, white shining armor, and he's just like, he told you no. No means no, back the F off. And yeah, now he's just like backing away, super angry, and I'm just like, there we go. And the first question is, are you okay? And we like that. We like, they're not even together, and he's showing an amount of care. It's not like, oh, so this is what you were doing. It wasn't any of that. It was just, are you okay? And that means the world to Charlie. So I like this. It's really good. And I'm just like, yes. Aww. So he followed Tim because he cared. Oh, it's so cute. Okay, I'm good, I promise I'm good. So I'm up to chapter 2. And kind of as I mentioned before, it's not that difficult to get through. Definitely comics full of pictures, but there's a good enough dialogue where you still have the experience of what would be like a regular novel and still come out of it with a lot of info. So I'm liking it so far. I'll probably end up finishing this like super quick, so I'm just like super excited right now. But anyways, I'll pop in a little bit later. I do have about a couple more meetings to attend, so alright then. So it was a hot minute. I'm just about done with my shift and I get to continue reading, so let's get into it. So right now we are pretty much up to page 110, and they're just, I think at this moment, Charlie's telling Nick all about how all of it started, like the issue with Ben and things like that. So now his friends, it's just like, you gotta be careful, you're falling for him, and they're like, oh my god, this is so cute. Okay, so I'm going to show you exactly what it is I'm looking at. It's adorbs. That's them playing rugby. It is adorable. Nick is smooth. He found a perfectly valid reason to give Charlie his address. Like we don't already know. But that's adorbs. Charlie has an older sister named Victoria, or Tori for short. Oh my god, and he cut his hair. Oh my god, it's the same exact face that I'm making right now. It's just like, it's so cute. She's just like, So Charlie just cut his hair and he's just like, does it look good? Like, I know I've done this before, but I just want to make sure that it looks pretty decent. Or was it better when it was long? And she's just like, it looks the same. You've done this before. Oh my god, he touched his hair. It's so cute. Oh my god, this is adorbs. Oh my god, I'm dying. The funny thing is, when I met Angel the very first time, he kind of did something similar to that. Besides greeting me in the most unstranger-like way, like he just ran up to me, gave me the biggest bear hug ever. And then he's just like, oh my gosh, I like your hair. Like, do you like my hair? And then he like grabbed my hand and made me touch his hair, and I was just like completely stunned. I was like, this person's a little too friendly. But then I was like, he's also super cute. And look at this, almost like forever and a day later, and we're now fiancé, so it's just so cute. Alright, so just got off shift and I'm just gonna finish the gonna finish Heartstoppers. So I'm liking it so far. As y'all probably seen in the like a little earlier on in the video, it's actually really good. So I'm just going to continue from where I left off. And where we left off essentially is that he touched his hair. It was so cute. And they're just pretty much hanging over at Nick's house. So we'll see what happens. Yay. Aw, he just paid him a compliment. He's like, I get to be good at fake sports, and Nick is like, you're good at everything. So Nick's going on a rant, and he's just like, you so are. Let's see, you're good at video games, sports, math, essays, and he just kind of like hushes him. It's really cute. Let's see, there we go. He hushes him, and he's just like, shh. So Nick just gave him a really big bear hug. I think he's testing out the waters. I think that he's starting to realize that Charlie means more to him than just a friend. And he's trying all of these like physical touches, like a slight hand touch or a slight nudge. And right now it's a hug, but the hug is lasting more than just the normal one, and Charlie just like kind of put his face in the crook of his neck, and I'm just dying. I can't. You see, his sister knows what it is. She knows exactly what it is. She's like, I don't think he's straight, or at the very least he might just be Charlie interested. So she's just like, no, he ain't just straight. I think he's coming into his feelings. The age-old question, am I insert here? And there is a BuzzFeed quiz. I can't. BuzzFeed quizzes are so funny. Oh no, he's crying. Okay, so I like how real it is, because Nick right now is asking himself, I like girls, but I like Charlie. What does that mean for me? And in the panel he's crying and he utters the words, help me. I don't think he's really speaking to anybody in specific, but it's more like a general question. So I understand that, I understand that. Like, I have some family members who were just like, oh, so did you know from the beginning? Or did something happen to make you the way that you are? And, sexuality is a very complex conversation to have. Some people know from way before. Some people discover it later in life, and there's, no two experiences are the same, and you're not always going to find out at the same exact time. It is nice that nowadays there's a much more broader conversation being had about it. So I could kind of understand what Nick is going through. It's just like a epiphany kind of moment where you're just asking yourself, what are you, how do you feel? So that, I like the rawness that we're getting with the character on this, so that's the rant over. That's all I wanted to say. So he's talking to his friend, the one that is worried about him, that he might be in love with a straight guy. And he's like, it's becoming a bit more physical now. There's a lot more hugging, side hugs and holding, longing looks. And he's like, Charlie, I didn't want to tell you anything, but I've asked around, and Nick has a crush on a girl named Tara from his school. Ooh, here comes the monkey wrench. Okay, that is not just a hug, that is a cutesy moment. Oh my god, I'm dying. So the other teammates are looking at them and their interactions now. Okay, and now they're like talking about other people's sexuality in between themselves. They can't even. So one of the lines that one of the teammates talk about, they're just like, he doesn't look gay. And didn't he have a crush on a girl? There's a misconception. A lot of people who don't have a lot of experience with people in the LGBT community believes that there's a specific kind of look that determines whether or not, if you're insert here whatever they believe. In this case, they're using the word gay. There is no look, just nonsense. We come in a variety of different shapes, sizes, looks. There's just no way to determine somebody's sexuality just based on their look. So, like, the comments that they're saying, they are legit. So these are things that some people just don't understand. Okay, the coach is spitting out facts. I love this. Okay, so I'm just gonna read this part, okay? So she's listening in on what everybody's, what these three guys are talking about. So she steps in and she's like, you can't tell whether people are gay by what they look like. And gay or straight aren't the only two options. Anyway, it's very rude to speculate about people's sexuality. So it's very short, but everything that I was just saying, it's just what it is. Everybody thinks it's one or the other, but it's actually a lot more complex than that. Humans are, by nature, by design, we're just so vastly different. And while some people may or may not agree with the way that we decide to have our lives, to live as authentically as we want, to some people they find it offensive. They can have their opinions, and we can't expect them all to accept us. But you just never know, like, what another person's life is like, and to assume or speculate and start rumors is just wrong. So don't be that person. Okay, so now they're at a party. I guess it's like one of those big school parties that you always see in teen movies. One of them's being shady. He knows that there's a potential between Charlie and Nick, and he specifically calls Nick to tell him that the girl he had a crush on a little while back is around. And he's like, yo Nick, you should go in, claim your prize, essentially. And he's like, right Charlie, but he's giving him that look like, right? Now Charlie's feeling extremely insecure now. Calling himself stupid for even thinking that somebody would have an interest in him. Of course, like you would have in every party scene, the one person the protagonist does not want to see, in this case Ben, is right in front of him now. He put him in his place. We like this. Everybody's throwing hands. I like this. So Ben tried to weasel his way back in, saying like, I'm sorry, okay, and not sincere in the slightest, and he's just like trying to grab onto Charlie, and he's like, you're done soaking about your issues, you're done being dramatic, and Charlie just pushes him back and he's like, F you. Awesome. He's asking now the question, do you like girls, to Nick? So I guess like the serious part's coming through. And just in the nick of time, because we're just like at the last stretch of the book. Page 239. Okay, so yeah, he asks specifically about Tara, do you still like her? And he's just like flailing, he's like, no. Spoilers. Like, I'll probably put that at like the title of the thing and just be like, spoilers ahead. So this is Charlie. So you don't have a crush on anyone at the moment? And Nick is like, well, I didn't say that. So what's she like then? You're just going to assume they're a she? Are they not a girl? And Nick is just acting really blushy. He's like, would you go out with someone who wasn't a girl? I don't know, maybe. So Charlie's like seizing the moment. Would you kiss someone who wasn't a girl? I don't know. Would you kiss me? Oh my god, he said yeah. Oh my god, they finally kiss. Oh my god, I'm dying. They're so cute. Oh my god, I'm dying. Charlie just went straight in. He's just like seizing the moment. I can't even. But I have to wonder, like we are approaching the very end of the book. It's really not many pages left. While the experience is happening and everything, Nick, I wonder if he is going to struggle. Like there's several other books after this one. So my question is he going to struggle with his newfound feelings for Charlie? Or is he going to like just jump in and be okay with it? Or is there going to be some hesitation since he may or may not have been able to process said emotions from a couple of pages back? So I wonder how it's going to be. Okay, so Nick just walked out of the room and Charlie asked him if he's okay and he just walked out, and Charlie's crying now and saying I'm sorry. So he might be under the impression currently that he may have pushed the envelope. Okay, so yeah, we hit the entire thing. They ended on that note. He walks out of the room and Charlie's there sitting down trying to figure out what just happened. And I had no idea that this was originally on Tapas, which is one of the webcomic apps that I currently read. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't even. Like, they have a couple of other pages, like diary entries and character profiles. So I'm kind of living for it. Oh my god, it was, I quite enjoyed it. For as thick as it looked, it is definitely something that you can get through really easily. Not to say that comics are easy to get through, because on any level of you reading, if you're getting into comics recently, or if you're a veteran, I feel like this is a read that anybody could jump into and get through at whatever pacing that they want and not feel overwhelmed by it. If you did enjoy the video and watching me read along, feel free to leave a like, a comment, or subscribe. Let me know how you feel about the book. If you've already read it, what were your general impressions? Of course, without any spoilers, because I know that there's 2, 3, and 4 currently out, so I don't know how long the story is. So thank you again for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed the rest of your day. Bye!